Hi, welcome to ISM3011 Information Systems in Organizations. My name is Han Reichgeld. I'm Professor of Information Systems at USF St. Pete, and I'm the instructor for this course. As you no doubt know, businesses are increasingly relying on information systems, or IS, to help them to perform their operations more efficiently and serve their customers better. As a business manager, you of course need to be aware of this. Two themes follow from this observation. First, you need to understand information systems, their components, how IS can be used to gain competitive advantage, and the issues involved in heavy reliance on IS. Second, you need to be comfortable with the information technologies used to build IS, such as spreadsheets, simple databases, data visualization tools, and tools for creating web pages. The course themes feed into the following learning outcomes for this course. On successful completion of ISM 3011, you will be able to 1. Identify the different components of an information system. 2. Discuss how information systems can help organizations achieve their strategic objectives. 3. Recognize the importance of information security and identify some of the measures organizations can put in place to secure their information assets. 4. Identify the processes that organizations use to manage their information systems. 5. Identify the processes that organizations use to develop their information systems. 6. Discuss the potential future impact on businesses and society of existing and new technologies. 7. Use spreadsheets, database software, and data visualization tools to solve small-scale business problems. And 8, finally, develop a simple website to support a business. The themes are also reflected in the course material. The course is divided into 12 content modules. Each module will cover some aspect of information systems from a more theoretical point of view, and most also allow you to acquire some specific technology-related skills. For each module, you are required to read a chapter of the textbook to become familiar with some aspect of IS and complete a quiz to test your knowledge of this material. Technologies are usually covered first through a mini-case, in which you learn some technology-related skills, and a deliverable, in which you apply these skills. Although the mini cases are not graded, I will give you feedback on your submission. This feedback might be useful for you as you tackle the deliverable. And as you progress through the course, you will build a business portfolio based on some of the deliverables. While the mini cases give detailed instructions, the deliverables are formulated at a much higher level. For example, the mini case in Module 4 will give you detailed instructions on how to create a pivot table in Excel, whereas the deliverable will simply ask you to create a pivot table. Since it's in nobody's interest if you get stuck on creating a deliverable, I have also provided detailed instructions on each task in the deliverable. However, and this is important, when you access a detailed instruction, you will lose a point. So be careful when you click an instruction link in the deliverables, and make sure you only click them if you really need the detailed instructions. You are of course free to access the detailed instructions at no loss of points after the submission of the deliverable. There's a separate video on this welcome page to explain this in more detail. There are a few additional issues that deserve comment. First, to cover learning outcomes 2, describe how businesses use information systems to improve their performance. And 6, discuss the potential future impact on businesses and society of existing and new technologies. You will be required to post every 2 weeks or so a link to a technology-related article, together with a brief summary, 1 or 2 sentences, of the article that you found. However, One of the posts has to be a reaction to or a follow-up from a post by one of your classmates. And the follow-up post has to contain a link to a new article. For example, if one of your classmates posts an article on driverless cars by Google, a good follow-up article might cover a driverless car by Apple, or a crash involving a driverless car, or how car manufacturers such as BMW are trying to use the Google technology in their car. If in doubt whether you should post an article as a follow-up, post it as a follow-up. There are details on this in the preamble to the Tech News discussion forum. Second, while the relationship between the course objectives listed in the syllabus and the various assessments will be clear, there's one assessment that may need some explanation. Research on online learning indicates that reflection on the learning process, especially in adult learners, leads to better learning. I would therefore like you to take a few minutes, 15 to 30 at most, at the end of each module, to reflect on what you learned and on how what you learned is relevant or is likely to be relevant to your professional career. At the end of the course, you are asked to hand in a reflective essay. While it is of course possible for you to simply postpone all the reflection to the end, I would suggest to you that it will be easier to write this essay if you make some notes for yourself at the end of each module. 3. There are 3 more videos on the welcome page, namely one that explains the setup of the course. If you're not familiar with how I typically set up online courses, this video tells you about the structure of each module and in particular about the importance of the module introduction and the module course learning outcomes therein. There's a video that explains the deadline policy in this course. And finally, as I mentioned before, there's a video that explains the assignment policy in this course in more detail. And with that, let's get started. I look forward to working with you to make sure you achieve all the learning outcomes and earn a good grade. Welcome.